Hello folks, welcome back. This is Anthony. Today I'm going to show you how to adjust the housing guard in your skid shoes, both the rear and the sides on your HSS724-928 and 1332. Hi, this is Anthony. It's a little bit different from the not too much different from the older HS models. I'll put a link to the original video for your HS models. It's pretty much the same. But what I'm doing today is differently. A lot of people have asked me, hey Anthony, can I have both the side skid shoes and the rear skid shoes? And if so, the answer is yes. And if so, can you show how to adjust those? So that's what we're going to do today, really quick. Alright, the first thing you want to do is adjust your housing guard. The housing guard, or sometimes it's called the scraper bar, but it's really not supposed to scrape. It's supposed to be protecting, guarding your bucket or your housing from damage. And if you watched my first video, when I first got this 928, I did an inspection of it. The bottom of this bucket was really damaged. It was curled up and everything. And after a bunch of patience and time, I was able to straighten it out pretty much. It looks pretty good now. It's not brand new. There's a little bit of damage here and there, a little bit of wear. But at least I got it nice and flat against a brand new scraper bar or housing guard. And I've already adjusted this. Now, you don't have to put it on the nose like I did here. You can lay it back on the handlebars and do it. It's really easy. It only takes a minute, a couple minutes. Let me show you the old housing guard. Now, the housing guard, this one was kind of worn. It's not really bad, but it's worn more on one side than the other side. And that's because the owner didn't keep the skid shoes properly adjusted. This housing guard, I think it's close to $100. And the skid shoes that go right here in the back, they only cost about, I don't know, $12. So which is better, a $100 housing guard or a $12 skid shoes? So keep your skid shoes adjusted. So what I do is I loosen up the side bolts. These are bolts. And then you've got five, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 nuts. You loosen those up, and then you can adjust your guard. Now look where my guard is here. It's down about 1/4 inch below the side of the bucket. Here's the holes that you, if you wanted to, you could install side shoes. So I adjusted it down about 1/4 inch or so, which what they suggest in the Honda shop manual. But when you get these back from the shop, I bet you a lot of these people are going to say, hey Anthony, I mean mine was adjusted about 1/2 inch below. The reason why the shops do that, folks, is because they know people are not going to keep their skid shoes adjusted. So they overextend the housing guard. Now if you're going to keep it adjusted properly, 1/4 inch is just fine. So you get this down 1/4 inch, you tighten this bolt. Then you go to the other side, you get it down about 1/4 inch past the side of the bucket here, and then you tighten this bolt. And once you've got those tightened, then you can retighten your 5 nuts. So this is what you have to do before you adjust your skid shoes. You want your housing guard to be adjusted properly. Otherwise, you're going to be all out of whack. Now, this is a big 1332. When I got it, it didn't have the side shoes. So I installed the side shoes. When you've got the side shoes and the back shoes, what you want to do is you want to adjust the side shoes first. So what I do, I put a painter stick, which you can get at any hardware store. Let's see if you can see this. I left the machine outside so you can see the painter sticks right here. You can see a little bit of daylight. You know, that's what you want, folks. You want a little bit of daylight so that your bucket, your housing guard, your housing is not scraping on the bottom. The sides or the back side is scraping on your asphalt or concrete or your dirt. Now, the shop manual says 2 to 4 millimeters. I put this in a caliper. This is 4 millimeters. I'd rather have a minimum of 4 millimeters with one stick. Now, some people might need 2 sticks. It depends on your surface. Look at my driveway. It's flat. It's a standard cleaning service, as they call it. I only need 2 to 4 millimeters of clearance. I prefer one stick, so that's 4 millimeters. Now, if you have a bumpy driveway, or you've got gravel, or you've got a dirt surface, the Honda shop manual recommends almost an inch, and that would be probably 4 of these sticks. You want a lot more clearance between the bottom of your bucket and the surface area. You don't want to be digging up dirt and digging up rocks and everything. You're going to destroy your bucket, which I've shown many times on this channel. You're going to be throwing missiles out of your chute, rocks and dirt, and everything's going to be throwing out of your chute. You're going to be breaking windows. You're going to be hurting people. Okay? So it's not really a set. It's not really a set amount. On most surfaces, you can get away with 1 stick. And some surfaces, you might need 2. And on the really bad surfaces where you've got dirt and rocks, gravel or whatever, or really bumpy driveway, you're going to need more clearance, folks. So you may need up to 4 painter sticks, okay? So a lot of it is trial and error, but I'm going to show you what's usually on the basic side, okay? Now I've already got the sticks in there, okay? And then I take my machine, I make sure on my thumb control, I push down my thumb control and make sure that my bucket is hitting all the way down as low as it can go. So that's where you want that adjustment. Then you can loosen up. I've already loosened up everything. I've loosened up both sides. I've loosened up both rears. That way I get a proper adjustment on my bucket. Now I can pound this down to the ground. So it's to the ground. And then I can tighten up my shoes. I tighten up one side. And then I come over on the other side. And I tighten up my other side. Make sure it's down to the ground. I usually do this in my garage because I have a perfectly flat garage. And then I can tighten up my bolts. Okay? So once I've done that, then I can do my rear shoes. Now rear shoes, you want the bulk of the scraping to be on your side shoes, okay? You don't want your back shoes, your rear shoes the same. So what I do, in my case, I'll put a quarter back here, which is about 1.5 millimeters. I calipered it. It's about 1.5 millimeters. I put it underneath my rear shoe, and then I tighten up my nuts. You do one side first, and then you do the other side. Now, once again, now you're going to have the bulk of your scraping on your side shoes, and your rear shoes are going to be your backup when you're able to protect the bucket in instances where you've got little bumps in the driveway. It will work as a secondary shoe. Now once you've got all that tightened up, then you can start your machine and test it. And when you test it, you want to make sure that you put the bucket down to the floor or to the ground, and then you want to make sure that your machine tracks straight. Okay, if it's pulling to one side or the other, if it's pulling to the right, then your right side shoes are doing a little bit more scraping than they should, and then try a readjustment. Now on your rear shoes, I want to mention this. If you have to use two paint sticks on your sides, then I would probably use one paint stick for the rear. If you have to use, 4 paint sticks because you've got a really bad driveway, gravel, dirt, or whatever, if you put 4 under here to give you almost an inch of clearance, you want more clearance on the nasty surfaces, then you would use more paint sticks on the back. You wouldn't use of course you wouldn't use a quarter. You'd use 1, 2, or 3 paint sticks as a backup. So these are a little bit higher than your sides. Okay, folks? So thanks for watching. I hope this helps you save you money. Please like and subscribe to the channel as always. And if you have any questions, ask it on our Facebook group, Honda Snowblower Enthusiasts, or post your comments below the video. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.